Samuel had 3 alarms. He ignored all of them. And he didn't know it yet. But those 3 alarms were quietly stealing his future. Samuel was 29. He worked 2 small jobs. One at a delivery warehouse. The other doing early morning package runs. He lived in a tiny room above a bakery. The oven's heat sometimes woke him at night. The city was never really quiet. But the city was not his real problem. His mother needed medicine every month. His little sister's school fees were due again. The landlord had already warned him twice. Pressure was not new to Samuel. It sat beside him like an old friend. His nights were broken into pieces. Some nights he finished late at the warehouse. Some nights he stayed up making calls, trying to borrow money. Some nights he sat in the dark scrolling, searching for new gigs. Some nights his mother woke coughing. He would go to her. Help her sit up. Wait until her breathing slowed. Then he would lie back down. And stare at the ceiling. So by morning, he was already tired before the day even began. The alarm would buzz at 7. Then 8. He would press snooze. Just 5 more minutes. Just a little more warmth. He woke late. Skipped breakfast. Ran to work already sweating. He arrived already behind. He blamed the city. He blamed his boss. He blamed bad luck. But the truth was quieter than all of that. His life wasn't falling apart because of bad luck. It was falling apart because his nights were for catching up. And his mornings were for reacting. He was never starting the day. The day was starting him. One rainy evening, after a long shift, Samuel met his old neighbor in the stairwell. The man's name was Idris. Idris was not rich. He was not loud. He did not look like someone who had escaped struggle. But he moved slowly. Like someone who had decided long ago that rushing was too expensive. He had calm eyes. Steady hands. There was a quiet strength in him that Samuel had never thought to ask about. Rain tapped against the small window above them. Samuel spoke. He spoke like a man who had been carrying stones for too long. The missed payments. The reminders. The medicine. The fees. The landlord's voice at the door. And the shame. Idris listened. He didn't interrupt. He didn't rush to fix anything. When Samuel finished, Idris said something simple. "You begin losing before 9. Samuel frowned. "What do you mean?" "You give the day control," Idris said softly. "So it takes more than it should." Samuel didn't argue. He just stood there. And what Idris said next, Samuel would carry for the rest of his life. Wake at 5:30. Sit. Drink water. Do nothing for 10 minutes. Then write 3 small things. Try it for 3 weeks. See what changes. It sounded too small for problems that big. But Idris wasn't selling anything. And Samuel had run out of better ideas. That night, he went home. He looked at the medicine bottles. He looked at the tuition notice. He placed his hand flat on the paper. And for the first time in a long time, he didn't feel panic. He felt a decision. He set his alarm for 5:30. The first morning was the hardest. The alarm buzzed. The room was dark. The bed was warm in the way beds are only warm when you have to leave them. His hand moved toward snooze. The way it had moved 100 times before. Then he saw his sister's face in his mind. The way she smiled like the fees didn't matter. Even though he knew they did. He folded his hand. He turned the alarm off. He sat up. The room was quiet in a way he had never heard before. Because he had never been awake to hear it. He walked to the sink. Filled a glass. Drank slowly. The water was cold. Sharp. Honest. He sat at the small table. No phone. No noise. Just breathing. 10 minutes passed like 10 slow gifts. When they ended, he opened a notebook. He wrote 3 things. 1 task to finish before work. 1 call he had been avoiding. 1 small kindness for his mother. He folded the page. Placed it on the table like a promise he intended to keep. Then he left. He arrived at work early. Not transformed. Not suddenly successful. But present. He noticed a mislabeled package before it caused a problem. He fixed a small error and told his manager. The manager looked surprised. He nodded. And Samuel felt something small and steady inside his chest. Something that hadn't been there before. The first week felt fragile. On day 4, he almost quit. He sat on the edge of his bed in the dark for 3 full minutes. Then he stood up. The second week felt possible. He stopped reaching for his phone first thing. That small gap. That pause before the noise. Began to feel like something he owned. The third week felt like a habit. He woke before the alarm twice. He sat in the quiet not because the notebook told him to, but because he wanted to. Samuel did not become rich. His mother was still sick. The fees were still hard. The nights were still sometimes long. But small things shifted. His manager trusted him with more responsibility. He earned a little extra. That month, he covered his sister's fees. He called the pharmacy and found a cheaper medicine plan he hadn't known existed. One evening, instead of collapsing into bed, he sat beside his mother while she rested. He held her hand and waited in the quiet. The real change wasn't money. It was this. He could think before reacting. Plan before the day demanded. He no longer felt chased. He felt. Slowly, imperfectly. In control. Months later, he saw Idris at the morning market. Golden light spilled across the stalls. "You wake early," Idris said. "I do," Samuel replied. They stood quietly. Idris nodded. "It was never the hour," he said. "It was what you did with the quiet. You began the day. The day did not begin you." Samuel held that like something small and unbreakable. Waking early is not magic. The hour alone saves no one. What changes a life is what happens in the quiet before the noise. To plan. To breathe. To write 3 honest things. To keep a small promise to yourself. When you win the first part of the morning. Before the calls. Before the demands. Before the world gets loud. You carry something the rest of the day cannot take from you. Tomorrow morning, before 9. Will you begin the day? Or let it begin you? If this story stayed with you, subscribe to Tales for Thought. And I'll see you in the next one.